Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm your host, Brian, joined the other host,
Karen.
And today we are going to be talking about Metallica again, another topic we always talk about.
Yes.
But in particular, they finally announced that they are doing a residency at Sphere in Vegas.
They did, yes. It's been a rumor for a very long time.
Yeah, we've been avoiding talking about it on like our main podcast or even on these kind of things because, it's been rumored and not like true. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess the new rumor, though, is Tool is looking to do one as well, which would be cool to go to see that as well. Anywho, for Metallica, it is Life Burns Faster is sort of the residency name or the name of these shows, like the tour name I would typically call it, but it's not a tour.
Yeah, it's a residency.
Yeah. But that's the name of it. It kicks off October 1st and runs through the end of October to October 31st. They play basically every weekend except for that second weekend in October.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just like their M72 tour where it's 2 shows per sort of weekend.
Yeah, Thursday and Saturday.
Saturday, right. Yep. And no repeat shows. So basically what they've been doing on their M72 tour, but here at Sphere. There is also no opener. It's just them. And I've been to the Sphere.
Is that confirmed? No opener?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's confirmed. I think every band who's ever played there has had no opener.
Okay. I was just wondering because like when we saw them at the 40th, there was like a DJ opener just like as people were coming in sort of thing.
Yeah. So I have been to the Sphere before and we did, I think, a 666 on it, I want to say, for Dead and Company. I came back and I talked about that experience. And I think during that episode of our chat, I basically said like Metallica would be fucking awesome here. They're one of the only metal bands I can think of that can sell this venue out and do it for multiple weekends in a row. And like just the economics and how the Sphere works, you have to have somebody there who stays for a long time because you do the visuals and you have to make the visuals for them. It's very customizable. But I also said like for Dead and Company, they're from San Francisco also, and there's one part where they're on like Haight Street and they zoom into the house or something, like 2 girls go into a house or something. And I was like, oh shit, that'd be fucking awesome for Whiskey in the Jar, because that whole music video is just the house party. So you can easily reimagine some of that video for Metallica. So we'll see if that actually happens. I would love to see that during this show. But I don't know where I was going with that, other than no, even for them, there is no opener. And when you first walk in sort of for that show, and I don't know what other shows have done, but you walked in and you saw like the scaffolding holding up the Sphere, and we're like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome. You can see right through the screen and everything and all of that. And after we sat there and watched it for a while, we realized, no, that is the screen. That scaffolding is that's the projection they're putting on the screen. And then as soon as they start playing, that pulls away and you're in San Francisco and you pull up into space for Dead and Company. So I don't know how it would work with an opener to have just a generic sort of
background or whatever.
Yeah, backing visuals for them, sort of generic and whatnot. It'd be kind of cool because I was thinking like, Lamb of God would be awesome to see here. There's a bunch of bands that would be awesome to see at Sphere, but I don't think they have the weight to sell out weekend after weekend after weekend. Yeah. So having them as an opener would be really cool. So I don't know if it's someday down the road you can do some sort of generic visuals for just an opener. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's confirmed no opener. Tickets for this went on sale. This is going up Monday, March 2nd. This episode is February 27th, Friday. The travel packages went on sale.
Yes.
We did purchase a travel package to go.
Yes.
The travel packages didn't have GA, which I really wanted. We ended up getting a section 100.
Yes.
I wanted 200, but those were all sold out when we tried to go through the process.
And we're 100. Hopefully, I think we did the calculation correctly that we're up in front of that overhang.
Yes.
So we were really, really searching for like pictures and views and double checking that we are in front of the overhang. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We are, hopefully.
Hopefully. I'm pretty sure we are. When I was there for Dead and Company, I did spend one of the sets. So they had 3 shows for their particular run. Metallica only has 2. For one, and same thing, they would split each show into 2 sets. So they take a little break in the middle like Dead and Company typically do. And one of those sets, one of those nights, I went to every single section and hung out there for like 4 or 5 minutes and just watched the show from there to get the vantage point of each different section. The 100, if you're under that overhang, does really fucking suck. It really does. It takes away a lot of the experience. And from my vantage point or my viewpoint of this whole thing, the overhang isn't necessarily needed for the 200 section. The overhang is needed for those shitty ass VIP boxes that people buy.
Oh,
They're
are
like,
those there?
They're like luxury
I didn't
boxes
realize
at
that
that
they were there.
200 level, which like your all inclusive drinks and snacks and shit like that. And they're more expensive and pricier and blah, blah, blah. Those are what cause that overhang more than
see.
anything else.
I see.
They fucking suck. I hate
They
those
should
things.
have not done that. So that
No, agreed.
there was no overhang for any seat.
Right. It's really, really shitty. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, talking about Metallica, I'm super excited. I anticipate the set list being very similar to what we've seen with the M72.
I would agree there. Yeah. Yeah. We were kind of talking about that last night. And I think it's going to be about the same, where there's going to be like 4 songs that interchange every weekend. But otherwise, the set's going to be the same for Thursday and Saturday through the weekends. Not the same set on Thursday and Saturday for the same weekend, but
Yeah.
it's going to be very similar, because we saw that with, like you said, with M72. Every city that they go to, it's if they open with Whiplash, they end with Enter Sandman.
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember what the order is.
But yeah, and then vice versa with Creeping Death and Master. So I
Right.
think it's going to be a similar, and then they'll have their two or three per night interchangeable songs in there. So.
Yeah, and like you said, that's exactly what they had with the M72 tour. It's
Yeah.
like that skeleton structure was basically the same. Now they would flip it, what was Thursday night one week was Saturday night the next week, but more or less that structure was the same.
Yeah.
I would like to see a longer set, since it is just them.
I hope so too. Yeah.
Not just the base 16 tracks, but maybe
Yeah.
go 20, 24 tracks.
But even for the 40th, I don't feel like it was longer.
It wasn't longer, but also I think the 40th was structured in that way, where they were going up their catalog and
they were.
down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That does also limit your range.
That's true.
You could
That's
do
true.
potentially. I mean, you could have easily played 2 songs per
Yeah.
album instead of
Yeah.
1 or whatnot. But yeah, I would like to see a longer set. I could potentially see it where they take, those floating 3 to 4 songs. Those floating 3 to 4 songs were roughly the same. There weren't it wasn't their entire catalog.
Yeah.
It was, we have 10 tracks, and of those 10 tracks, we're going to sprinkle them in across the thing in those slots, the 3 or 4. I could see them taking those 10 tracks, splitting them, adding them to the set, so then you get 21 tracks.
Maybe.
And just doing basically, the Thursday show is going to be the same for all Thursday shows. The Saturday shows are going to be the same for all Saturdays. But the weekend itself won't be repeated. Again, I think that goes into the way the Sphere works, with having sort of predefined visuals that go with songs.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Now, with Dead & Company, you had those key songs, like the visuals for this song will be at this time slot. But then you could, there was parts where they'd go into space and do these weird sort of galaxy sort of tours and whatnot, that could then be that floating slot that you could slip in there.
Now, did the Backstreet Boys do a Thursday, Saturday show, or did they just do a one night show?
I can't remember. I think the Eagles did just a one night show. So I can see the Backstreet Boys just doing a one night show as well. No Doubt is there too. I think they're only doing maybe a one night. Yeah, No Doubt was announced before Metallica. Because the first rumors came out for Metallica, and it's like, holy shit, that's awesome. And then the next week or a couple weeks later, it was No Doubt's going to be at the Sphere. And it's like, what the fuck? What? That I did not see coming.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah, same. I agree. But in any case, what was your question?
Oh, I was wondering if Backstreet Boys did. Because what I was going to say is we could look at set lists and see if it, over a weekend. I guess for Dead & Company, we could almost do the same thing. Look for the weekend that you went, and then look for the weekends that other people, all the other weekends. Because they did a lot.
They did a lot. The buddy I went with, who got me into Dead, he was doing that kind of stuff afterwards, and he did see there were some times where not only were the songs not the same between all the weekends, the visuals were also different between all the weekends.
Interesting.
Now, one thing with this Metallica residency is they are doing what they call, I think, open house or full house package or something like that, where if you bought that ticket, it's the I Disappear. You get access to every single one.
Yeah, was that called Full House?
I can't remember what that was called.
But yeah, it was for the M72 tour. It was the I Disappear package, where you get into every single show.
Yep.
I can't imagine what that costs for this, because the ticket prices were just outrageous for this.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of that package was. But they do have that, and I could see them then, not having the same set list for every single weekend because of those packages, and you want those people to have the one or two unique experiences with those one or two songs.
Yeah, it is called Full House.
Okay.
Full House, yeah, Full House tickets. Yeah.
And no price on that. And yeah, like I said,
well, I don't think that these have went on sale yet. The enhancements and stuff haven't went on sale.
They haven't?
I think it was only the packages went
only
on sale.
the travel packages.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember it correctly.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong. No, here's one. Full House Sphere 2026 ticket starting at $26.98 for one GA floor entry for as many shows as you can attend.
That's really not that bad.
That isn't bad, especially if you're local.
Yeah.
And you're not paying the hotel pricing.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
I like that. I mean, it's pricey for sure.
It is.
We paid quite a bit, like a little over $2,000
per person.
Per person for our tickets.
Yeah.
Which though included the hotel room, which
yes.
you looked it up. A 3-night stay at the Venetian is where we're staying for this hotel is like $3,900.
No, four night stay was either 35 or 39. I can't remember what it was, but it's very pricey.
So you take that out of your
Yep.
total, which we were again just a little over 5,000, I want to say. So you take that out of your total. The package we got did include transportation to and from the airport, which again, figure $60 to $80 for a taxi ride into town, into the hotel. I don't know if they have like a flat fee for all of that or not.
That's true.
But here in Chicago, it's about $70.
It's $70, yeah.
So then there's $140 added on. Like it does add up, right? It does really add up.
Yeah.
Plus you get your ticket. So I mean,
and we get like a gift and stuff.
2 gifts or some sort. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to see what. I mean, we'll obviously do an episode on this after October, but it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. So do you want to go into buying tickets then? Because it was kind of a process.
Yeah, it was a process. This is a bit of a lengthy episode, but that's fine. The process was, you put your code in to get into the purchasing of it, of the ticket and whatnot, and then from there you select sort of what date you wanted, or what of the dates they had. Basically see these packages.
Yeah. And unfortunately for us, before we go into the dates, one weekend was the best for us.
Yeah, the second weekend was the one we wanted to do.
Yeah, and we couldn't get that one, so we had to do the third weekend.
Yeah, because I did select that package, and then when I did that, all of the packages were sold out. So I had to go back to the select your package page and re-enter my code to select what I wanted, and then I had to go and select what sort of section I wanted.
So you have it playing on the screen, and because you called me, I was at the office, but you called me when you were doing this, and you were like, "It's all sold out." I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, what are we gonna do?"
Yeah, and that was the 5th member sort of ticket buying process. But we did end up going to the 3rd weekend, and they did have packages there. And then you would select the package you wanted, basically the seat section areas you wanted.
Oh, I see that now on the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, you were explaining all this to me when I was at the office, but I couldn't see what you were doing. So.
And then once you do that, you scroll in to find the seats you want. Now, the kind of shitty thing here is, I think what happens is people are selecting the seats they want, and it takes it away from what you can pick.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to find seats, and all I found was like 1 seat in a row here, and 3 rows back there was another seat. I was like, well, I guess we're not going to sit next to each other. I guess that's somewhat fine. But I eventually found 2 just sort of like popped up, like here's 2 available.
Yeah. Like as people are clicking around or something.
Yeah. Also, you pick the package you want, and then you have to select how many tickets you wanted for that package. And a lot of them just had 1 ticket available. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you should be able to pick the number of seats first and then show me what packages have those sort of availability zones.
Yeah. Or say like 2 people and then only show those or something.
Yeah. So the process was a little frustrating there. But once you select your seats, you move on to the next section of selecting your hotel, which does allow you to select a day before Thursday. So fly in Wednesday. However, they only had like 1 room available for that date range. Like, no, let's just change it and do the Thursday, fly in Thursday type thing. And depending on what room you pick and all of that, it does adjust your price as well. So, it does fluctuate from what section you're getting, what hotel you're going to get, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, once you're in your hotel, you can like it tries to sell you like other experiences, like a spa day, book a reservation here, and all that.
Oh, it did say like you had 5 minutes after you select your ticket
Yep.
to find. See, this is we've okay. So maybe this whole thing needs to be another episode, but we've talked about this before on like the ticket buying process and how it creates a FOMO aspect.
Yes.
And I feel like that's how I was. I mean, I couldn't see what you were doing, and I was like, just get anything, just get anything. I don't care, because we had talked about not buying a package and waiting till Monday.
The day this goes up, the individual tickets for fifth member and legacy member
Yes.
is up. The day after this video gets posted, I think, is the artist pre-sale, and then the general sale is Wednesday the 3rd, I think.
Yep. And yeah, just out of all of this, I think it definitely creates that FOMO aspect of like, you need to buy now, and it's just shitty.
Yeah, no, 100% agreed. I might try to pop in Monday and
just
take
see.
a look, see what the pricing is. Because again, I wanted floor tickets. We're in a seat. That's whatever. It is what it is. But I might pop in, and if I do, I'll cut in like right about here and talk about it, that, and maybe show video of that as well. I don't know what I'll do if I do anything. All right. So as I said, I was going to try to get in and check out what the prices were for individual tickets. So I did do that. Got into Ticketmaster and did just a single day ticket just to see what floor was going to cost. And went through the queue. I was only about like 800th in line when I got in for some reason. But once we got in, you put your code in, all that kind of shit, and then we can look around here and see what floor and everything costs. Well, before we get to the floor, the 100 section where our tickets currently are for the travel package, those were listed at $893.85. Not sure if this includes fees or not, but if it doesn't include fees, figure like 20% tacked on to the end. So you're looking at about $1,100 for just an individual ticket in the 100 section. And then just an individual ticket for the floor, again, this is one day, it's $676.59. And again, tack on that like $200 or so for fees if that's not included in there. They do have other things in here like the Snake Pit, which was $1,190.82 for an individual show in the Snake Pit. And I also don't know if this is dynamic pricing or not, if this was sort of in flux. Could be. I don't know how to tell if dynamic pricing is on, honestly. Unless you check back 3 days and see if they have tickets and see what the price is. But by that point, this is going to be sold out, and yeah. So very, very pricey for these tickets. And that was for an individual show. I did also get in the queue to check out what it would be for the 2-day package. So once I got in and opened up and unlocked everything again, everything was grayed out, but I could hover over different sections to see what the ticket prices were. Floor tickets for the 2-day, for both shows, that cost $1,353.19. I don't know if that's... I haven't done the math to see if that's exactly double the price as, the previous floor ticket. I would assume so. It sounds about right. It was like $670, so it's probably really close, if not exactly the same. Again, stupid math and whatnot. But that's for the 2-day ticket there. I did hover around other sections too. The 100 section was $1,984.50. All the 400 and 300 sections were kind of out. I didn't see anything listed there. The 200 section, I think, is the exact same price as the 100 section at $1,894.50. And they also showed the Snake Pit, which was $2,381.65. This is an expensive show. I think I said it. I don't know if I said it already or if I'm going to say it here in the near future of this episode when we cut back, but I think this is probably a one and done for us. I do like Tool. I think Tool would be awesome here, and they're still just rumored to be coming to the Sphere probably next year in 2027. I would like to see that, but I don't think we're going to spend that kind of money to see Tool. It's fun, it's a great experience, but it is fucking pricey. So this is probably a one and done for us. And Metallica has announced that due to the popular demand of this show, we are adding 6 more shows. So I'm assuming 3 more weekends. They haven't announced the dates. I would assume November. At the time of this recording, they did send an email out, or I got an email saying if you didn't get tickets, You can use your same pre-sale code on this Wednesday, March 4th, to get tickets to those new shows that are announced. So probably by the time this is up and you're watching this, those have already been announced, but it sounds like they were shocked by how many people wanted to see this, which that's fucking bullshit. Everybody knows this was going to sell out. This was planned probably to build up hype and whatnot, but whatever. They're adding more shows, so if you weren't able to get tickets and want to go, hopefully you can get to one of those shows. And I can see them adding even more down the road, maybe next year, or whenever these shows are after that. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But it's very, very pricey. It's more than I thought it would be, for sure. But I don't know. It will be fun. It's, like I said, a one and done. So back to past Brian and Karen. But first, a message from future Brian. I think I said I didn't know if dynamic pricing was on or not. I'm pretty sure it was now. So I was hovering around and figuring things out. And when I was talking through that just a little bit ago, I was watching a video I did as I sort of screen captured the process of when I was doing it. I just took screenshots to throw it in the video instead of doing the whole video thing, just because it's quicker and easier for me, so whatever. But I was rewatching that when I was editing it just a few moments ago, and I found that I hovered over the snake pit twice, once earlier in the video and once later. So I said snake pit for the 2-day show was $2,381.65. And that's sort of the image I threw up, and I'll throw it up right here. But I checked, like I said earlier in the video, I hovered over it as well, and the price for it at that point in time, just a minute or two before, was $2,018.35. So a $350 increase just within a minute. So I think that means dynamic pricing was on. Yeah, that really fucking sucks. I'm not sure though the other sections if that same thing was seen or not. I don't think I poked around that much, but for the snake pit, it did increase by roughly $350, $360 or so, which is kind of shitty. But yeah, whatever. I'll throw it back to past Karen and past Brian, or however the fuck time travel shit works. So here they are.
I see what so when we were talking, sorry, I'm going to kind of narrate this a little bit. When we were talking, you had mentioned that you would select the seats and then the rooms would be all sold out for that weekend.
Yes.
And that's what we're seeing here on the screen. I don't know if you'll put this in the video or not, but like you have seats next to each other, but then it doesn't have a hotel room.
Right.
So then it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, and there's nothing for like the next step of buying, like what do I do? So I just ended up like refreshing the page.
And every time you refresh, you have to put in your code again.
Yep.
So
luckily though, my seats were saved when I did that.
Yes, yeah.
So that did help.
Yeah.
But
and what you ended up doing was taking a day off, right? Of the hotel.
Eventually, I did do that. Once you select your hotel, that's then when you select your date range that you want to move in, or check in, not move in.
Move in. Let's just move into the hotel in Las Vegas.
But they do allow you to check in a day early and check out a day late.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did the day early, and they only had like one room, and that's when I said, no, let's just go up. A bunch of people on like the forums were saying they're going to try to just buy individual tickets and book hotels elsewhere.
Yeah, and we talked about doing that.
Yeah.
We did, but see, again, I had the FOMO aspect of you have tickets, just buy them now. Yeah. And not wait and see what happens on Monday.
The travel package is decent. It's pricey for sure. We did the travel package for Dead and Company, and it's fine. The hotel's very nice. It's a really nice hotel. Yeah. It's connected to the venue. It's connected then through a little short walkway to where the pop-up shop's going to be. At least it was for Dead and Company, as well as this sort of loungy experience type area where Dead had a miniature wall of sound they had built. Cool. Yeah. They had a bunch of booths for like they're really big on getting people registered to vote, so there are booths to like register and vote. Cool. Yeah. Other people doing like sort of charitable funds for like animal shelters, I think, or just different shops and whatnot there, as well as like a little lounge where they were selling booze and you can hang out there and just listen to
not
music.
Booze.
Yeah, booze. And so that was all sort of connected, this little museum thing and this sort of shop, all connected to the Venetian. So, and there's also a direct walkway from the Venetian to Sphere. to get into the venue. So it's all connected. It's a unique experience. It is pricey, so you can definitely buy individual tickets and then get a much cheaper hotel that might require you just to walk a little bit further.
And we did that when we saw Metallica in Vegas in 2022. Yeah. We didn't do a package and we just bought tickets and then we stayed at one of those cheap
hotels.
I can't remember what it was.
It was the Castle one.
The Castle one, whatever
Excalibur,
that is.
Whatever
yeah, Excalibur, I think. Yeah. And I mean, it's fine. It was a hotel. Yeah. That's basically what you get.
So in any case, that was the ticket buying process for the packages. We'll probably throw some of this video up there so people can see, because there were a lot of questions like, how's this work? One thing I did, and again, it's been a couple of years since I did the Dead & Company experience, but I went through it all, and it's basically the same. But you can basically go on their website now on Vibe, Vibee, and select like Eagles or No Doubt or something, and walk through this process, because it's the same process for them.
Oh, I see the package thing. Yeah. Like, do you want to do all these upgrades? Yeah. No, we paid enough fucking money. We are not doing anything.
They even tell you at the end, though, it's like, if you change your mind, you can easily add packages on later.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this show. It was pricey. We could have tried to get the individual tickets. But my guess is it's going to be somewhat not easy necessarily.
I don't think so.
But I think if I log in tomorrow on Monday, I bet I can get in and get floor tickets.
Yeah.
I bet I can do that pretty easily. Maybe not easily. I don't know. Maybe not. But we'll see. I'll try to do that and just see what happens. One thing people were having issues with is the queue to get in. So the legacy members, I think, were 10 a.m. Central Time. And general fifth member is 11 a.m. Central Time on Friday to like buy the packages.
Yes. Yeah.
And around 10:20, I just clicked, let me log in to see what happens, or let me get in the queue. And it added me to the queue, and it said it was a 20-minute wait. I was like, oh, cool. So when it gets to 20 minutes before my time for fifth member, because I have that access code, I will get in the queue, because the code, it will just check the code against the time. Like that link shouldn't change. And so 20 minutes before I did that, and it was an hour before we can get in. And other people were saying they waited 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
7 hours.
Really?
Yeah. And then once they got in, it was all sold out.
Yeah, that sucks.
And so people were complaining. And granted, this is all on Facebook. I don't know if these are true stories. But if they really did wait 7 hours to get in and then it's all sold out, it's like, why didn't you just cut off the queue and say it's sold out?
Yeah.
Instead of saying...
Because I
don't know.
I heard the same thing with Back to the Beginning, though, that people would check in 8 hours later.
Oh, really?
And they'd find one seat that would pop up. So, I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Yeah. Now looking at tickets, I mean, I've seen it on social media as well. Like, people are posting tickets for thousands and thousands of dollars.
That's fucking outrageous.
Yeah. I mean,
like the resale. That was one thing I do like, that they capped it at 4 tickets per person.
They did, yes. So somebody couldn't buy 10 in a row or to buy an entire row or something. So,
yeah. It's only 8 shows, 4 weekends.
Yeah.
I could easily see this getting expanded. I'd be shocked if it doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be expanded this fall.
Yeah.
But potentially next year.
Yeah. I don't know. The hard part for me, or the timely aspect of this whole endeavor, is definitely the visual component.
Yes. Yeah.
Getting that built and configured and whatnot.
I bet that's done though now.
I would assume, if the outline for sure is done of what songs we're going to play and what visuals we want with each song, and the sort of the storyboard or the outline of the story they want to tell has been determined and finalized. I don't know if necessarily the visual component is completed yet. I could see that going for a few more months, but definitely we are going to play this song, and for this song we want this visual effect has been determined, and now it's sort of just craft that visual component.
Okay.
That's my guess. I don't know for sure if it's done, but yeah, it's either done or close to being done. Would be my guess. Yeah, I don't know. This is super exciting. I'm really really excited to see this.
Personally, we've been talking about this for a long time, and we knew it was coming up. I was a little sticker shocked. I knew it was going to be a lot, but I was still sticker shocked when it actually happened.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And like I said, if I cut in earlier during this chat, it's because I did look Monday to see what individual tickets would have been. And if I have video that I'll throw that up on, I would have thrown that up by this time.
But we're not buying more tickets.
We're not. I thought about just saying, fuck it, let's get one GA. Because that's one thing I do wish they offered, and I said this during the Dead and Company as well, is I wish they offered sort of like a experience of you get a 200 section and you get a 300, or you get a 300 and a GA.
Yeah. Because these are our seats for both nights now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I honestly would be happy if they did randomization. You get a random ticket, and for this particular one, if they gave me the overhang, I would have gladly taken the overhang, and then the next night had like a snake pit. Like,
yeah, that'd be fun.
That would, to me, outweigh the shittiness of the overhang.
What did snake pit start at? Like $4,700 per ticket?
I think so. $47 for the travel package.
For the travel package, yeah. That's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah. Like I said, I would be shocked if they don't add on to this, but I mean, if it's not a guarantee. U2 only did their one run, and they never came back. At least not yet.
I think that's where the jump on tickets now aspect is coming from. Metallica is like, what if they don't do it next year, or extend this? Extend this this year or whatever. Like, if these are the only dates that they're doing it, and then they're not doing it again. Yeah,
and we did say on our main episode, our main podcast a few weeks back, when we changed up and did headlines, there was an announcement they're building another sphere outside of DC. So like,
but it's going to be smaller, right?
It's going to be smaller, yeah. But at the same time, you now have this belt, like the visuals, so that Metallica could go play that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and like they don't have to just do this one, and like the show will have been built. You can easily just come back and play that again. Or let's say you want to add another song to your set list. You now have to add visuals for one song instead of an entire set.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and what does the sphere hold? Like 17,500?
I can't remember.
I've heard that so many times. I feel like that's right. It could be wrong, but when you think about that, Metallica can sell that out in one night at one show in one city. So
up to 20,000 guests. Metallica is doing a snake pit. That means their stage is going to come out into the floor, so that's going to take away some of your seating. I would venture to say it's going to be about 17 to 18,000, maybe 19,000, but I think that's pushing it for these guys for this show. But yeah, we'll do an episode on this, like you said. We'll do a vlog on it.
Yeah, there'll be a vlog.
Sometime in the very far future, but
we're gonna get better at that.
We are gonna get better at that. I'm super excited. Tickets, like I said, they're on sale, either currently on sale or there's other opportunities tomorrow and the next day. But who knows what the future is gonna hold. So if you're trying to go, I highly recommend it. Dead and Company was fucking awesome. It's an amazing experience. It's not necessarily the best live music experience, I would argue,
because you're not looking at the stage.
It's just a completely different experience. You'll understand when you go and you see it for the first time, but it's awesome. It's amazing. It really is, but it's just a different type of live experience, just like seeing a bar show versus a stadium show.
Yeah,
Those are two different experiences.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think this is necessarily how all live music should be done, but it is a cool option and a cool opportunity to see a show like this. And even after I saw Dead and Company, I was like, I would see any fucking show here, even the Backstreet Boys. Like, I don't have to.
We did talk to some people last summer that saw Backstreet Boys, and that would have been cool.
The experience as a whole is just so fucking amazing. So,
do you want to go to No Doubt? What are No Doubt tickets? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, no, we can look that up on our own time. But like I said, super excited for this. If you're going, awesome. I hope you have a great time. If you aren't going, I hope they stream it or something. There's definitely going to be a bunch of shit out there that you can watch. And hopefully Metallica, and if you try to go and can't get tickets, hopefully Metallica does extend it and there's another opportunity for you to go. I think this is a one and done for us. We're probably not going to go back to this one.
No.
Like I said, Tool is rumored to do it. I would like to do Tool. But I would probably not do a travel package and try to get just like a single ticket.
Just one ticket, yeah.
I don't need to see both shows.
Yeah. 2 tickets, but one night. Tickets. Yeah.
But in any case, this is Metallica. They're finally at the Sphere. Rumors were finally true or realized or whatever the fuck you want to say about that. But this will be a really, really good time. A bit of a longer episode for our 666.
Very long.
But hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully found it somewhat the information useful, especially the video of like how to get the travel packages. Because I know there was a lot of talk about that going into buying the tickets the day of.
Exactly.
So in any case, it's live music. Get out there, check out some live music. If it's this or anything else, live music's fucking awesome. Go support art live.
Bye.